20 minutes after the hour, welcome back to the Daily Buzz. You know, with the government making historic moves to bail out failing financial institutions, there are so many questions about how this will affect the taxpayers. Will the rescue plan work? How will we fare in the end? Well, joining us now is nationally syndicated radio host and the watchdog of Wall Street, Chris Markowski. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's an honor. Thank you for
appreciate you coming in. Money is one of my big things that I'm really passionate about, and saving money. Let's talk about this government bailout here. Do you think this is enough? This $700 billion bailout plan. Do you think this will work?
Well, anything that deals with the government, they're going to first tell you one price. You might as well add a third or maybe 50% more, because it's going to end up being more, because there's going to be handouts to this group and that group and whatever it may be. Nothing is finalized. Today's a big day in Washington, D.C. Ben Bernanke and Henry Paulson are going to be grilled by congressional lawmakers to see, okay, what are we going to do here? People need to think of this not so much as a bailout, even though it is, because in actuality, the taxpayers can end up making money. Not like we'll ever see a check back.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
But the taxpayers can end up making money on this deal. They're buying up assets on the cheap, and then they're going to try to sell them off later on.
Do you think this is a Band-Aid solution? Because I think we need to be going back into what actually happened. The fact that, you know, we loosened the laws to allow people to, you know, borrow this type of money. Of course, you know, people always go, oh, well, you shouldn't have been borrowing that money. Well, if you tell me I can do it, and if I want to get a house, sign me up.
There's a lot of people you can blame for this. As the individual, you can blame Wall Street, but I really go down to Freddie and Fannie, because you take a look at the amount of money and the leverage that these institutions took on, and this is our money. Right. I mean, $1 of capitalization for every $30 that they borrowed. You know, there has to be some semblance of order. You need, if you're going to loan people money, you better be able to pay it back, and we completely got away from that. They tried to reform it in 2005, but they failed.
Do you think Wall Street and Washington are in bed together?
Oh,
come on now, you know we're going to ask you.
National Enquirer, call it up. I mean, I just got back from the Republican National Convention, the Democratic National Convention. The biggest and best parties thrown by Freddie and Fannie, Wall Street, and the major automakers. Of course they are. Okay,
so there's probably lack of competition as well in Wall Street.
Well, that's one of the big problems, too. I've been advocating for this for over 10 years now. What we need to do is break up these big banks. We wouldn't have had these problems if there was more competition in the industry. Remember when we were kids and we used to get yelled at, get off the phone, get off the phone, don't talk too long. Well, remember they broke up AT&T and allowed for the internet and cheaper phone calls and all these great things to happen. We bring that type of competition to Wall Street, let's solve a lot of these problems.
Okay, I'm too afraid to check my 401k.
Oh, no.
Is that a good thing, bad thing?
You started off this segment and you said you're very good about saving.
I know, but I'm scared.
No. Good. Don't even bother. As long as you're saving on a regular basis, these things will pass. They always do.
And that's because I'm not retiring for 20, 30 years. But if you do retire, say, in 5 or 10 years.
If you're 5 or 10 years, well, 5 years is still a little bit of a decent amount of time you've got. You know, there's plenty of time for things to recoup. I mean, 5 years ago, you think about where we were 5 years ago compared to where we're at today, it's still a lot of time. These things happen, and they're going to happen again. This is not the last financial problem we're going to have. We got Social Security and Medicare problems down the road we're going to have to deal with. By you saving and putting money, you're 1,000 steps ahead away from most people. You're doing a great job.
So don't touch it, keep saving. Thank you so much, Chris.
Call dollar cost averaging. Keep putting it away.
Thank you so much for your tips.